You need to value bomb your audience, right? So you need to give away so much value that people almost feel like they're stealing from you, okay? So I like to put it like this: give away the house and charge for the furniture. If I give you a house, right, you're gonna feel super grateful that I just gave you a house, right? Even if I charged you a little bit extra for the furniture, you're gonna buy the furniture because I just gave you a house. So even though the furniture is maybe 20% of it, I can still make a lot of money from selling the furniture if I give away a house. That has been that's the number one thing really that changed everything about this strategy, right? So, brand over business. I don't literally mean that you shouldn't focus on your business. We all know business is important, but we've seen a whole new trend in the industry lately. And that is a bunch of creators making tons of money with a brand before they even have a business. So they start marketing before they have a product. This has never been done before the internet age, right? So it used to be that you launch a product and then you market it as hard as you can. Now people are marketing and then they just put out a product based on what people like, right? Even if you have a product already, this is still an incredible strategy because we see huge brands like Coca-Cola and stuff like that putting out new products based on what their audience wants. So this was a personal shift for me, personally, because I like to be a little bit more behind the scenes, but knowing about this whole strategy changed the whole way I operate. Because you can't be behind the scenes nowadays. It's useless, right? There's too many people making too much money, and I saw a bunch of creators doing that, and that's what changed me. So I'm gonna tell you about some of the creators that really helped to change my whole perspective. Let's move on to the next slide. So the first one is Abdaal. So I used to watch him a lot when I was a student in college. He had a lot of study tips. It was, just really easy stuff, how to study, how to read faster, how to prepare for an exam. And I thought it was great content. He was also a student himself. And then recently he put out his numbers for 2022. And he made $5 million just in 2022. To me, it felt like overnight success because I was like, he was just a student. He dropped out of school and now he made $5 million. So I was like, how was he able to do this making, just YouTube content, right? So that was the first person, but I was like, is that a fluke maybe? Was it just him? And then I learned about the next person, which I'm sure you guys might have heard of. Let's move on to the next one, MrBeast. So MrBeast, I'm sure you know, he's the biggest YouTuber in the world. He's got he makes, like 1 billion views a month, stuff like that, right? So we all knew he made a lot of money, right? But when he put out that he made $52 million last year, that was when I was like, okay, that's real money. That's industry money, right? Like that's huge industry money. And then he raised $150 million. That is like, we're talking Coca-Cola type money, right? Like that's huge billion-dollar industry money. So that was another thing that solidified it. And then the next person was like the nail in the coffin. That was when I was like, all right, I got to get in on this, right? So let's move on. Huda. I don't consume any of her content, right? But even still, she made me notice her by having a $520 million brand. Now, her brand is actually worth $1 billion. Her portion of it is $520 million. I don't even think she owns the majority of it. She owns like 40%. So for her to make that much money, I was like, okay, she's actually a leader in the makeup industry, like bigger than a lot of these brands that have been around for ages just from doing, makeup videos in a room. That's insane to me. So that was when I had this whole paradigm shift of, okay, I have to shift my whole strategy, right? So let's move on. What was it that they all did to win, right? Was this all a fluke? Is it just because they were extremely talented? I think there was a little bit of talent in there, but I specifically chose these people because they're all pretty ordinary, right? They're not Rihanna, they're not Jay-Z, they don't have extreme levels of talent. They weren't able to capitalize on a music career. They were just people making videos from their room, right? So I think that the way that they were able to do this, what I found was it was about 5 different steps that they all took, and those were the patterns that led them to their success. So let me go through those 5 different patterns that I saw. The first one is they all knew their content pillars. Content pillars are 4 to 5 different things. There's different subjects that you're going to have all of your content circle around, right? So this helps you to get clarity. Too often I see people who are an author who also is doing cooking videos, and then they're also showing off like their dog all the time, and then they're also, it's just too much, right? So you should have 4 to 5 topics that all kind of align to get your audience used to what you're talking about. And I like to call it a bingeable strategy, right? So you know when you watch Netflix and there's a good show and you keep binging it, it's because it's all similar content. It's like the to be continued type thing. That's what you want to do with your own content. You want it to all flow together seamlessly. The next step that I noticed that all great creators do, especially in the beginning, is quantity over quality. Most people think it's quality over quantity. It's not. Especially in the beginning, just put out a ton of content. Like, so much content that it makes your brain hurt, okay? Because when you're in the beginning, if you're spending like 3 hours on a video, it's probably gonna get like 100 views and you're gonna be very upset with yourself. This is me speaking from experience of being very upset with myself, all right? So you have to put quantity over the quality. And I say it like this: if you're not a little bit embarrassed about what you're putting out the first time, you probably waited too long. So when you put it out, you should feel like, I don't know if that's fine. Let that feeling ride and put it out there, okay? Do not wait until it's perfect. If it's perfect, you probably waited too long, you're gonna be mad that it didn't do well. All right, and then let's move on. The next thing is they all focused on their hooks. If you're going to put any level of quality in there, if you're gonna spend a lot of time, it needs to be on the hooks. What are the hooks? The hooks are the first 3 seconds of a video. Or if you're having an article, it's gonna be the headline to your article, the title to your article. If I was writing an article, I would spend maybe 30 minutes writing the article, and it might take me 2 hours to write the headline. Because the headline is so much more important than the article, if we're being real. No one's gonna read it unless the headline is good, right? I do the same thing with my videos. I spent an hour on the first 3 seconds of a video, adding animations and all of these things, then the rest of the content is easy. Because once you get them in there, they'll watch the rest of it, but you need to get them hooked in, right? So I give you guys a couple examples in a video here of some great hooks.
Here are 5 ways to upgrade your Instagram page in 2020.
3 more habits that make my life better, but that I wish I knew earlier.
Here's how you can batch tons of content without losing your mind.
I paid $60K one time to be in a mastermind, $60,000.
Right. So if you're looking at all of those, there's something they all have in common, right? They either have something that's really clickbaity, right? Something that makes you think, I have to see what the rest of this is. Or they have something that gets you a little excited, right? Some type of visual or something that you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I wonder what this is leading into, right? That's what a good hook is. So ideally, the best hooks to me usually have to do with words, especially in the world of business. Something that has to do with numbers, like the first one I put on, 5 hacks to elevate your Instagram. People love numbers. Things like that will help you grow a lot more than if you just put out a video, skip the intros. I hate when I click on someone's video and I see them doing an intro, right? I'm sorry if anyone does intros, but I hate intros when you come in and you're like, hi, my name is Ryan. I just wanted to let you guys know I just started. I don't care. I don't care. Skip straight to what I want to know, all right? Value bomb, all right? You need to value bomb your audience, right? So you need to give away so much value that people almost feel like they're stealing from you, okay? So I like to put it like this: give away the house and charge for the furniture. If I give you a house, right, you're gonna feel super grateful that I just gave you a house, right? Even if I charged you a little bit extra for the furniture, you're gonna buy the furniture because I just gave you a house. So even though the furniture is maybe 20% of it, I can still make a lot of money from selling the furniture if I give away a house. That has been that's the number one thing really that changed everything about this strategy, right? So you can't be afraid to give away value. A lot of times we're afraid to like give away our secret sauce and stuff, but the second you do is really when you start seeing growth. And that's what we've seen with a lot of these creators, right? They give away so much value that when they do put out a course that's like $1,000 or something, you're like, I mean, I've gotten $1,000 from your free stuff. I've made that already, right? So that's the number one thing that changes it. And that's really what, we've been doing with Dr. Stacia, right? With my mom. And she gives away so much value, and especially with her next offer, it's so much value that you feel stupid for not getting it, right? It's a no-brainer. It's so undervalued, you're like, this is crazy, I gotta get this, right? But that's okay. It's okay to undervalue it a little bit because you're focused on just giving away as much as you can to get as many people. That is what the strategy is. And then the next step is gonna be to monetize. So finally, it's time to make some money from this, right? But when it's time to monetize, make your offer align with what your content has been about. So I like to say, don't bake a cake and sell a salad. Imagine you came to my house. I'm baking a cake, you smell it, it smells super good. I take it out, I put all the frosting on top of it. You watch me do all of this. I show you the cake, and then I take it away and I put a salad in front of you. Are you gonna eat that salad? No, you're gonna leave and you're gonna get a cake somewhere else, right? So that's what I see a lot of people doing though. They'll put out a ton of content, right? Let's say they're putting out cooking vlogs, right? They'll put out a ton of content and then they'll put out a book, an inspirational book. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying that your offer needs to align, right? It would have been better to put out like a cookbook or something like that because that's what your audience wants from you. So you have to pay attention to what your audience wants from you or else there's no point to this whole thing. You're just building a brand and then you can make it crumble with a bad offer, right? So make sure that whatever you're offering aligns with your brand. So then let's move on to the next slide, which is about metrics, right? These are the things that will tell you if you're being successful. Shares, watch time, and engagement. It's not likes, it's not views. It's more important to have shares, right? The biggest predictor of something being viral is if people are sharing it. That's basically what viral means. It means that it's so good that people are showing it to their friends. Even if they're not sharing it directly, they're showing it to their friends. Hey, look at this, or hey, I learned this from this, right? That's a viral piece of content. Watch time means that you have a fan, right? That's loyalty. Because how many times do you actually watch a full video? Think about it. You're usually skipping through stuff. When you do watch a full video, you're like, wow, they actually got me to watch this full video. Let me go check out the rest of their page. So if you have good watch time, it means that you're probably gonna get some really loyal people. And engagement is the biggest predictor that you're ready to sell. If people are DMing you, if people are commenting under your post, if things like that, they will probably buy from you as well. Because you don't interact with people if you don't kind of want something from them, right? On social media, at least, unless they're your friend, you don't interact with strangers. So engagement is the biggest one. If you see people DMing you stuff, they're telling you exactly what they like, it's probably time for you to make a product about what they like, right? Those are the three biggest predictors of your success. If these are not doing well, just readjust your strategy until these things are doing well.